he lobbied and was accepted by countries neighboring Southwest Africa.
Yeah.
Leaders of the liberation movement in Zambia, because when he passed through Zambia, it was Northern Rhodesia. When he passed through Southern Rhodesia, Zimbabwe now, he did not have much contact with the liberation leaders there, but he had contacts in Northern Rhodesia, which helped him go through to Tanganyika, which is today Tanzania. So he had that unique talent of interacting with people, and he was a credible petitioner. So wherever he went, he was easily accepted and easily accorded due recognition as representative of the oppressed people of Southwest Africa, Namibia.
Absolutely. Do you recall when you first met him?
Yes, I recall distinctly. When we left Namibia and crossed the Kwandu River from Angola into Zambia, we had a settlement, a reception center there in a small village town called Kalabo. And I think they had a few trucks who were being transported from Kalabo to Senanga, and from Senanga to Kaunga Marsh in Western Zambia. So I first met him in Kalabo when he came to address the new arrivals. But that was a distance. He addressed us there, and I can tell you we were impressed. First, this is the man we have heard about for a long time. This is the man whose name we used as a symbol of defiance in our youth. When we say Sema Ulipeni, we are singing that song to provoke, to make the Afrikaners, the government members feel offended, feel prickled. So this is the first time I saw him in flesh, in person, and we were impressed by his simplicity.
Which year was that?
74.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him first in 1974, and then close up, I met him in Dar es Salaam in 1974. This time in